Good morning. I have to say this is the first time I've been in a principal's office in, let's see, 36 years, and the last time didn't end so well. I'm hoping that today goes a little bit better. So, could you tell me what your name is and your role at Statesville Christian School?
I'm Mel Ellenburg, and I'm the principal at Statesville Christian School in the elementary department.
And so, what's your affiliation with Statesville Christian School? You've had a daughter that went here, right?
That's correct. It's twofold. I've had a daughter who attended here for 11 years, and now she's a graduate of SCS, and she's now at Liberty University. And this is my first year for working at Statesville Christian School as well.
So, you were a teacher at a public school prior to coming to Statesville Christian School. So, could you describe a little bit of the difference in a typical day at Statesville Christian versus maybe any other public school that you've been at?
I think that the biggest difference for me was, I get very emotional, seeing the discussions, the ongoing discussions that go on between kids and between parents and teachers and kids with parents and teachers together about Christianity. Just ongoing, everyday, normal conversation. Almost like, hey, how's those Jets doing? Yeah, that kind of thing. It was just very normal conversation. And I was very blessed in a public school system to have a principal who was a Christian. But even with that, it was very difficult to bring Christianity into the classroom. It was something that I had to wait for a student to say something, and then I could respond. But I had to be very careful in the way I responded. And, I knew being a parent here that Eliza came home all the time talking about things that she and the teachers discussed. But then when you're the one that's walking through the halls, seeing it and hearing it, I just feel very overwhelmed and blessed.
What is your goal for children coming to Statesville Christian School for their elementary experience? Obviously, making sure that they're grounded in their Christian faith and get a good start spiritually. But otherwise, what is your goal there?
Okay. I definitely want the kids to be very well rounded. I want their academics to be very rigorous, and I want them to be very well prepared for middle school, which will prepare them for high school and then college. Going back as a parent, my daughter and several of her friends who have gone to UNC or Duke have called back to their teachers to say, you prepared me for this. There are kids in my classroom that have never even heard of this, and we were working on this in middle school because they prepared them in elementary to be at that level in middle school. So I certainly want them to really be challenged scholastically. But also just have that worldview, a Christian worldview, where, like I said, every part of their life, they're always thinking, let me look at this through God's eyes. To be very well aware of the world around them, but be able to not see it in the way that the world sees it. And just to enjoy school, to have a learning love, and just continually wanting to learn every day for the rest of their life.
A principal's job may never start and stop. It seems like it might just kind of go on all day, every day. But it's been noticed by a lot of people, that you're the first person here every morning. You're the person getting the kids out of the car, and you're the person putting the kids back in the car with their parents in the afternoon. Why? Why not assign that to someone else? Why do you think it's important that the principal does that?
Well, I call it my kid fix. I'm absolutely crazy about kids. And so it's the way that if I wind up getting bogged down with some paperwork or phone calls or different things that sometimes you just have to do when you're a principal, if I don't get actually into the classroom that day, I have spent time with the kids and I get to know them on a personal basis, even if it's just for a few moments. And I have to say, also, one of my favorite parts of that is we have a very active student council here. And we have them rotate in the mornings to help me with the kids getting out of the cars. And so I get a really wonderful opportunity to really get to know them on a one-on-one basis and just have time to talk to them about life in general. I love that.
So, as it relates to your staff, how would you describe your staff overall? As a team working together in elementary, how would you describe your staff?
Um, Phenomenal. I'm extremely blessed. when I walk through the halls and when I have gone in to do observations, there have been several times when I've had to pull myself into a bathroom and get myself under control, just because of being overwhelmed with how blessed we are. An example of that would be I was walking through the hall one day and saw Dawn Robb in her classroom. She's a fourth grade teacher here, and I heard her say something about Boaz, and I just stopped briefly to hear what she was talking about. And she wasn't just doing the Boaz Bible story like kids are supposed to learn. She was talking to the guys and saying, and this is a real man. And this, girls, is what you need to be holding out for, because this is God's best for you. And I was just overwhelmed. I knew that Eliza got that from here because she came home talking all the time about what the teachers taught her. But to hear it firsthand, I was just overwhelmed, and I thought, I'm thrilled that Eliza's back in college, but boy, I wish she could have sat in on that lesson for fourth graders, because every girl needs to hear that. And every boy needs to hear that.
So you've got a couple dynamos in kindergarten. Now, I don't know what it is that they do, but I've constantly for the last couple of years heard that kindergarten is off the chart. So what's going on with kindergarten, and what is it these teachers do that make parents feel that way?
Well, I think that they absolutely love the kids, and it shows. And that's not to say that the other teachers do not, because they absolutely do. But the kindergarten teachers are absolutely thrilled to be in the classroom with their kids every day. And they show them that, and they tell them that constantly. There's lots of hugs, lots of what we call Dexter hugs around here, when you're not supposed to be getting out of line, just to show that you love people, and a lot of fun ways of learning with lots of jumping around and dancing and singing, and it's just a really fun way to learn.
Very good. So if you could leave parents that are considering Christian education, and specifically Statesville Christian School, with one thought, what would that be?
I would say pray. Prayer will guide you wherever you're supposed to be. And that is exactly what we at Statesville Christian would want for you. If it's here, then we want you here. Wherever God would lead you to have your child, that's where we want you to have your child. And if you are struggling and wondering where you should have your child, and you just want someone to be praying for you, pick up the phone and call me, and I will add you to my prayer list daily to be praying for God's guidance. It's not some mystical thing that you have to be looking for. God is very clear in the way He speaks with us if we're seeking His face. And so my challenge is to pray for wherever God would lead you.
Very good. Miss Ellenburg, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm sure you will with all these kiddos around here. Thank you.
Thank you.